Om. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gananaam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahi Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannotipisita Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham karishyami siddhir me sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram समस्त जन कल्याणी निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते Tattva-bodho vidhiyate. So we are moving ahead. In second chapter, we saw the Tattva Viveka Prakaran. Tattva Viveka Prakaran started with the question, what is Tattva Vivek? Tattva Viveka Kaha. In chapter 1, we saw the difference between Nitya and Anitya. But here the topic started with Satya and Mithya. Satya and Mithya. So, Nitya and Anitya Vivek, that gives us dispassion, but it won't culminate into Gyan, knowledge. But when we do Satya and Mithya Vivek, discriminate between what is truth and what is false, at that time it takes us to knowledge. So here it was said that Atma Satyam. What is Satyam? Satyam is only Atma. And what is Mithya? Other than that Atma, whatever is left, and there we had seen that we have categorized two things, I and not I. So Anatma means all the not I. So whatever comes in the not I, whatever comes in Anatma category, that is categorized as Mithyati. Then from there only, one word was picked up by Bhashikarji, and that was Atma, Atma Kaha. As if a student is posing a question and the teacher is answering. So, Atma Kaha, then the answer was given. Answer was given, what is Atma? Can I ask you, what was the prakriya that was followed? I've unmuted you all. What were the three prakriyas that was followed? Shubhashish, Seemaji, Abhama, Sonia.
Atma is not the three bodies. It is
Yes,
not the 5 personalities and not 3 levels of consciousness.
Very good. Very good. So this was negated. First, how did it start? By negating. And the example I had given was by when we gift something as if a small gift we are giving somebody and we have packed it in many wrappers, and as a prank we are playing with that friend, and he's opening and opening and opening to come to what the actual gift is. So we have enveloped that Atma, our real self, with so many of our layers that we've forgotten what we are. And that is why the first step is to negate what we are not. So the negating portion is called this prakriya. So 3 prakriyas was, first we started with negating the 3 bodies. We will come to the Sthul Sharir today. So what are the 3 bodies? What are the 3 bodies? First,
Gross, subtle, and causal.
yes. Gross, subtle, and causal. Sthul Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, and Karan Sharir. Very good. Then we came to the 5 koshas. What are the 5 koshas? This Atma is not the 5 koshas also. What are the 5 koshas?
Annamay, Pranamay, Manomay, Vigyanmay, Anandamay.
Yes, very
Physical,
good.
dynamic, emotion, intellectual, and tendential.
Very good, Subhash. So these were the 5 koshas. We'll come to all these, okay? One by one, Bhashika will take these words and then describe it also. Because we also need to be clear what is that Sthul Sharir, what is the Karan Sharir, what is the subtle body. Okay, so we'll come to those. Now I'm just giving you an overview. Then Sthul Sukshma Sharir Karan Vyatiriktah. It is not that. Panchakoshatitaha. It is apart from that Panchakosh also, something other than that Panchakosh also. Then Avasthatraya Sakshi. It is what? It is the Sakshi. What is a Sakshi? The 3 states. What are the 3 states?
Waking, dream, and deep sleep.
Yes, waking, dream, and deep sleep. So what is a Sakshi? We had described yesterday a Sakshi. You all are not submitting the notes. You all are not revising. I'm going to be angry now with you all. Without medium. Very good. So it is without medium. Example. Cinema screen? No. No. Mix kar diya, Subhashi.
In the morning, when I get up.
Very good. Explain, Naranji. In the morning.
In the morning, when we get up, actually, we are not, at that time, we do not have any experience of any present, past, or future. We just know that I am.
I am. I am not identified to my body also. First and foremost, I am not aware of the body. Just the moment, just when I have got up from deep sleep, at that time, I don't need anything, neither my body nor my mind. My eyes are also closed at that time. Maybe the room is also dark. There's no light in the room, but still I know that I am. Still, I know that I am. That is the mediumless perception that I am having about myself. I don't need anything at that time. Okay, so remember these examples. So when we are getting up in the morning, because I have this example, because I have this experience, that is why I know that there is something called Sakshi that does not need any instrument. Whatever I am seeing right now, I am perceiving through some or the other instrument. Whatever it is, I am experiencing it either through my Shabd, Sparsh, Roop, Ras, Gan. So all the 5 sense organs of perception, they are working and they are giving that material, they are giving that information in the form of thoughts to the mind, and then the mind is perceiving it. This is the process. So it is through the medium of my sense organs. But there, when it comes to myself, knowing myself, I don't need my sense organs also. This is called direct perception. Sakshi, mediumless perception. Okay, so we'll move forward. So this Sakshi is avasthatraya Sakshi. This all the avasthas, deep sleep, dream state, and waking state are on the Sakshi, on the consciousness. Here, Subhashish, your example will work. The movie and the screen. As if on the screen, all the movie scenes are going one by one. It's flashing, it's going. Those scenes are not affecting the screen at all. Even by an iota, that screen is not getting affected. Similarly, all the states, 3 states, the waking state, the dream state, we feel that we are shunting from one to the other. Once we are in the waking, then we go to the dream state, then we go to the deep sleep state. We feel as if we are passing from one to the other, but it's not that. These 3 states are as if appearing on that witness, on that Sakshi. Okay, then we came to Satchida. What is it then? 3 things have been negated. The prakriya was done, 3 negations were given. What it is not. Actually, we have misconceptions about ourselves. Those misconceptions has been removed because we are so much identified to our bodies. We are so much identified to our koshas. We are so much identified to the 3 states. That is why we are not able to grasp actually what we are. So first they had removed, and then they came to what it is. Satchidananda Swarupa San Yas Tishtati. What it is, the 3 notions. Okay, tell me about Lakshan. So yesterday we missed out that thing. Lakshan, 2 types of Lakshan, and give me examples of both the Lakshan. 2 types of Lakshan. Lakshan.
Tataksa Lakshan or
Tatastha Lakshan and
Sarup
Swarup.
Lakshan.
Good. Swarup Lakshan. Give me examples.
स्वरूप लक्षण एक्चुअली कृष्ण का जो ये है बांसुरी
Swarup Lakshan.
ना तटस्थ लक्षण
Tatastha Lakshan. Very good.
और उनका जो
Yes.
कलर
ठीक है.
ये कौन सा कलर बोलते हैं इसका
Saula. हाँ ठीक है. ठीक है. Everybody understood? Shall we move ahead? Sonia? Seema ji, give me an example.
प्लीज एक्सप्लेन तटस्थ स्वरूप, मुझे इतना समझ में नहीं आया।
इसलिए मैं पूछती हूँ आप लोगों से, एक भी आगे बढ़िए ही मत, नहीं समझ में आया। तटस्थ मतलब होता है कि हम तट पर हैं, वी आर स्टैंडिंग ऑन द बैंक एंड देन वी आर लुकिंग एट इट, सो something, some lakshan, some characteristic of that thing we pick up that is explaining temporarily. It is not a permanent characteristic of that thing. That man with a hat, that man with goggles, he may or may not be with the hat or the goggles. But if you say that the fair person, the both examples, can you discriminate? So that fairness of that person, he won't be able to leave. He will always be with that fairness. Don't go too much into depth, like the other day Shoma was saying that if he gets tanned, don't go into too much details. Just be super, because every example is, no example is perfect here. So we just pick up the things, like we say, who's Ramji? Ramji is the one who is followed by Sitaji and Lakshmanji. Ramji may not be followed by Lakshmanji and Sitaji when he's all alone, but his pitambar, but his color, but his curly hair, that will always be there. That is called, the thing that he cannot leave is called Swarup. That is his Swarup Lakshan. And what is left, what can be left, but it is a characteristic at that time, that is called a Tatastha Lakshan. Meenakshi ji, give me example. Banani,
There is a bird on the tree.
yes. We got, you are explaining the tree.
Hmm.
Okay. So what?
The
Which,
bird may be there or not.
yes.
different
Which
thing.
example? Which is this Lakshan? What Lakshan?
That is selection.
Tatas. Very good. Bird on the tree. And Swarup, about the tree?
But the tree will be there itself. The tree is
But
there only.
you have to describe some characteristic about the tree. Maybe the bark of the tree is dark.
Hmm.
The trunk of the tree is dark. That tree that has dark bark or dark trunk. Yeah, that is its Swarup Lakshan. Yes, yes, yes. Sachidananda Swarupa San. So these two Lakshans we had described. Okay. Simaji, can you give me example now? About anything you can try. Like the other day, Abhamma had given the example about the Saraswati Ma. Her fairness, her beauty. That is a Swarupa Lakshan. And Tatastha Lakshan is she is on the swan or she is with a veena.
Even a bird on the tree,
Hmm.
if bird is Tatastha Lakshan, if that tree is, suppose mango is there in the tree, so that will be Swarup Lakshan?
Mango may or may not be there.
Okay.
Mango, in the season of mangoes are there. But apart
But
from
then
that,
the leaves will be
Leaves.
different.
Yes, leaves also.
We
So
can
you
make
have to
out from the
find
leaf.
out what is the characteristic that it does not leave.
Okay.
Excuse me, Amma, so greed and jealousy in a person, is that Tathastha or Swarup?
Tatas. It is not Swarup. It cannot be. His nature is pure. Atma.
Okay.
That is not. Purity is his nature. That is Tatas Lakshan. It comes and goes. We are not always kami, krodhi. We are not always jealous. We leave that. For a certain period of time it comes and then it goes away. Somebody wrote something. Gurudev is Swarup Lakshan? Of whom?
जब हमारे गुरुदेव है वो स्वरूप लक्षण है और हम जितने भी मेंबर्स हैं हम तटस्थ हम तो चेंज होते रहेंगे.
Yes, you can say like that. Yes. और बताओ.
Atma's nature is Swarup Lakshan, but body is Tatastha Lakshan.
Atma's body.
Like
The body. Jeev's body.
the body, the Jeev ka body jo hai, like we are holding a body, we are having a body, that body is Tatastha Lakshan because it changes.
And Atma is yes, fine.
Atma's nature is to, like, it doesn't change. Yeah?
आत्मा का नेचर जो है वो सच्चित स्वरूप है लक्षण एंड द बॉडी इज तटस्थ लक्षण. फाइन. एवरीबॉडी गॉट इट? गीता माँ, बनाने.
Yes, Amma.
एग्जाम्पल दो, जल्दी करो, आगे बढ़ना है. गीता माँ.
Cotton is Swarup Lakshan, for example, and
Of
Clothes.
what? Of what?
Clothes is Tatastha Lakshan.
First describe what are you defining? You're defining what? You're defining cloth, you're defining shirt, you're defining. What are you defining?
Clothes.
Clothes. Okay. So clothes, for clothes, the cotton is Tatastha.
No,
Think
no,
of it.
Swarup.
Swarup.
No,
Very good. Very good.
And clothes, garments, those are like Tatastha Lakshan because
Yes.
can be
Yes.
changed.
Yes. Good.
सॉरी मैंने उल्टा उल्टा कर दिया. बेल्कनी होना चाहिए स्वरूप और फ्लावर पॉट होना चाहिए तटस्थ.
Tatastha.
तो उल्टा उल्टा लिख दिया मैंने.
Okay. Okay, fine. I think you got it. Gita is quiet today. We'll ask her some other question. Okay. So we'll go ahead now. Move forward. ये सब समझ. Now coming to Atma. Coming to Atma, apply this Swarup and Tatastha Lakshan to Atma. So Sat, Chit, Anand. These three things are Swarup or Tatastha. Sat, Chit and Anand are Swarup Lakshan or Tatastha?
Swarup.
Swarup.
Swarup Lakshan. Got it? Swarup Lakshan because, okay. Satchidananda Swarupaya. Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave. Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. We saw the other day. Now Satchidananda Rupaya. What is this Lakshan? Of that Atma, of Shri Krishna, of the Swarup of Shri Krishna. What is this Lakshan? You told just now. The same words
Swarup.
are being Swarup Lakshan. Swarup Lakshan. Okay, Satchidananda Rupaya. Vishwotpatyadi Hetave. He is the cause of manifestation of the world. World may be or world may not be there. So this is Tatastha Lakshan. Good. This is Tatastha Lakshan. Vishwotpatyadi Hetave. Then what was it? Tapatraya Vinashaya. He removes the three types of tap, the pains. This is what? Tatastha Lakshan. Tatastha Lakshan. So these, from the shlokas, from the explanations, wherever in the Puranas is given, or in Bhagavatam, or in Gita, then pick up whether this Lakshan is Tatastha Lakshan or Swarup Lakshan. If the characteristic can be, that thing or the person can be without that characteristic, then it falls under Tatastha Lakshan. But if it does not leave any time, that characteristic is not leaving that thing any time, that means that is its Swarup Lakshan. Like the sweetness of the sugar is its Swarup. The color, during Diwalis, we used to get different sort of batasha, camels, horses, and different types of animals, all those shapes. And as kids, we used to fight. अरे मेरा हाथी में का पाँव टूटा हुआ है, ये वाला हाथी नहीं चाहिए. Those candies and all. So that is what? That is its Tatastha Lakshan. But the sweetness in it, parents will say, अरे सब में वही मीठा है, ले लो. All of them have the same sweetness. We will say, no, 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 इसकी पूंछ नहीं है, इसका पैर नहीं है, इसका कान टूटा हुआ है, हमको ये नहीं चाहिए. So Tatastha Lakshan is that it can be without, the thing can be without it. But Swarup Lakshan means what? That thing, the characteristic of thing is an intrinsic value of that, intrinsic characteristic. It cannot leave at any moment. Okay, so Satchidananda Swarupasan. What three notions now we come to yesterday's class. What three notions are being negated by Sat, Chit and Anand?
I am mortal.
I am a mortal.
I am mortal. I am ignorant.
I'm ignorant.
Mm. I don't have joy and happiness.
Yes, I don't have joy in myself. Joy I get from outside, from the situation, people, or objects. These three are the notions that we have, and we live with these three notions. To remove these three notions, these three words have been given actually to know what our intrinsic nature is, what we are actually. So Sat means what? Sat means when you say I am a mortal, the Sat word is cutting that.
Absolute existence.
Yes, in all the three times, I am always there. Absolute existence. In the past also, present also, and future also. I'm not born. I'm not born, and because I'm not born, I won't die. Okay, tell me, do you have experience? Do you have your memory of your experience of your birth? Do you, anybody for that matter, will he have the experience of death?
No.
If he says that, yes, I had the experience of death, that means he hasn't died. Simple as that. He hasn't died yet. बोलता है वो मर गया, नाम मर गया. But he's not dead actually. Okay. So this experience also we don't have. Neither we are born nor we die. So that the Sat word is negating the feeling, the experience that I am born, I'm growing up, I'll become old one day, and then I'll die. First one. Then comes Chit. What is Chit? The second thing, Chit. I'm not ignorant. But what is Chit? Chit
The
is
knowing,
cutting
knowing
knowingness.
principle.
Yes. The Jnana Swarup, the knowledge aspect, that Atma has got the knowledge. It is of the nature of knowledge. And that is why we want to know. There's a deep desire to know. I want to know everything. If you keep me in dark, I won't like it. And the examples are the media, the newspapers, the Google, everything. Why are they so popular? Because we want to know. Because Atma has that intrinsic quality of knowledge. It is of the nature of knowledge. Chit Swarup. The third was Anand. What is Anand mean? What is it cutting? I don't have joy in myself. I have sorrow. I don't have joy. If I want to have joy, I need to get some outer support, outer object, some person, place, or object, situation. My joy is dependent on outside things or situation. Okay. So my nature, so Ananda Swarup means what? Ananda Swarup means my nature, Atma, the nature of Atma is of the nature of joy. I don't need anything. How will you prove that the objects outside don't have happiness?
Because the same object is not giving happiness to another person.
Another person, another time to me. Isn't it, Shinjini? Another person also. And same thing won't give me happiness continuously also. One time it may be very, very a source of happiness. I can't live without it. But at a certain time, I'm disgusted with it, or I don't want that thing at that time. It happens. When I'm sleepy, maybe I like to see movie a lot. But when I'm sleepy, I'm tired, or I'm having some other work, that movie won't give me joy.
Yes.
Okay. So same thing also, same person also. may not be the source of my happiness or joy. It varies. If that had got an intrinsic value of happiness, it would be always the source of joy for me. Not even for a single moment, I will get sorrow from that object. Like the nature, intrinsic nature of sugar is sweetness. Even if you are sad, even if I have diabetes, or even if some other person who does not like sugar, he is taking it. Everybody will have the taste of that sugar, sweetness of that sugar, because that's its intrinsic nature. It won't change with people or circumstances, isn't it? But here, what is happening? The objects sometimes give me joy, sometimes it does not give me joy. It happens like that. Fine. So this is the Sat, Chit and Ananda Swarup. Yes, Tishtati. What is Parisheshat Nyaya? What is Parisheshat Nyaya?
करने के बाद जो रह जाते हैं
हाँ, एग्जाम्पल दीजिए.
सब शास्त्र में आत्मा में निहित हो जाते हैं.
नहीं, कॉमन नारायण जी कॉमन एग्जाम्पल दीजिए. कॉमन एग्जाम्पल दीजिए. आपका राभामा का और बच्चों का एग्जाम्पल दीजिए. घर में यू brought some fruits. You brought some fruits and there are 5 fruits, and then only you saw 5 fruits kept there, but afterwards you told everybody to take one, but suddenly after some time you saw 1 fruit was there, 1 fruit was left. So you are trying to make out who has not taken that fruit. One by one you call them. Even if that person is not there, you ask somebody else, has he taken the fruit? Then you come to some conclusion. You haven't met that person who hasn't taken, but when you come to conclusion that the others have taken, so whoever is left, I haven't spoken to him yet, but because others have taken their share, the fruit that is left here must be belonging to the person who is in the other room, or maybe I haven't seen him. Like that. कल एग्जाम्पल दिया था ना आश्रम का है, उसमें वैसे ही. Okay, so Parisheshat Nyaya means I am distributing each and every object to one person. What is left must be of some other person. So here also, because where had we applied this Parisheshat Nyaya? For happiness, to see what is the nature of this world. This body, does it have happiness? Does this body have happiness, joy? If it was its nature to be happy, it will always give us happiness. But does it do so? आप लोग इतना सोच रहे हैं. It is not like that, because it is not giving happiness all the time. Sometimes it has got pain, sometimes it has got something else, sometimes we have to go to the hospital, sometimes take medicine, sometimes we feel weak, sometimes tired. The happiness does not belong to this body. Mind, no. Sometimes the mind is upset, sometimes it is sad, sometimes it is excited, sometimes it is anxious. It is not the nature of mind. Is it the nature of the world outside, objects outside? No. So we have taken out all the things that is the source of happiness for myself at present. When I have taken out all those things, what is left is the Atman only. So that happiness that I get, I taste in between, sometimes with a wrapper, like if we are eating a chocolate with a wrapper, we'll get the sweetness in between, intermittently, not continuously. So we have to remove that wrapper and then taste the chocolate to have that continuous taste of the sweetness of the chocolate. So here also, intermittently we get happiness from the world, from a person. from some situation, or from some praise, or from some relation, intermittently. But it's not always stable or always continuously it is coming from that source. It's not like that. So when we remove all those things, what is left is that Atman only. That is the joy of myself only. Not a single time it happens that I dislike myself. I am the source of my joy always. Always I want to, even if I want to do something, it is for myself only. Remember, even if one person commits suicide, that is also at that time that suicidal tendency is giving him happiness. That's the intrinsic nature of that Atman, Ananda Swarup. Okay, so now we go ahead. We will see what is Sthula Shariram. Sthula Shariram Kim. Sthula Shariram Kim. You must have your books. Sthula Shariram Kim. Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi. Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam. Satkarma Janyam. Sukha Dukkhadi Bhogayatanam. Shariram. अस्ति जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति इति षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूल शरीरम. So now the first thing when he was describing in the previous question Atma Kaha, at that time he had told that Atma is apart from three sharir, three types of bodies. The first word was Sthula Sharir. So here the question is now, what is that Sthula Sharir? What is the gross body? Sthula Shariram Kim. Then the answer given is, the Sthula Shariram is made out of Panchikrita Panchamahabhutaihi. Panchikrita Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam. It is made up of, what is it? It is made up of 5 elements. Panchikrit, Panchamahabhutai. What is Panchikrit? We'll come to it later on. In this book only, we'll come to it. What is Panchikaran? But Panchikrit, Panchamahabhutai Kritam. It is made up of 5 elements, 5 big elements. Mahabhutai. Mahabhutai means what? It is Mahatatvat. It is big. There's no end to it. Mahatvat. There's no limit to it. The 5 elements are so big you cannot make it out where it started and where it ends. Panchikrita Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam Satkarma Janyam. And who is the, we'll come to the 2 causes. First I'll give you the word-to-word meaning, then we'll come to the cause. Who is making it? Who's the efficient cause behind it? It is Satkarma Janyam. The karma, the actions are making this body. Sometimes we feel, who has made this body? How did I come up with this body? Who gave me this body? We feel our parents have given this body. We'll get all the answers in this small paragraph. Satkarma Janyam. The karma that I do, the actions that I do, that I have done in my previous life, that has given me this body, which is in the present. And what is the purpose? The third line, the second line describes the purpose. Sukha Dukkhadi Bhogayatanam Shariram. What is it? It is Sukha Dukkhadi Bhogayatanam. It is to give us the sorrows or the joy. The purpose is to give us joy or the sorrow. Bhogayatanam Shariram. Asti Jayate. And then the last line, it is telling about the nature. It is telling about the nature. Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamate. Share for Natali. Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinashyati Shadvikara. This body is with Shadvikar. This body is with 6 types of modifications. This body is with 6 types of modifications. What is it? Asti. First, it comes into existence. Then it starts growing. Jayate, then it is born. Then it starts growing up. Viparinamate, then it starts decaying. Viparinamate means it matures and then it starts decaying, and then it gets destroyed. Okay. Sthula Shariram Kim. Page 32. So this paragraph will be discussed today. We have some time today. So first comes the question, what is Sthula? Why do we need to know about our Sthula Sharir? What is the purpose behind describing this Sthula Sharir? Because we have been so much identified to this body, we cannot objectify this body. We have subjectified it. Again, we have subjectified this. We have so much identified to this body that I feel that I am this body. This body is myself, I, Atma. To take our attention away from this, to take our attention apart from this, to objectify this body and see, that is why this is being described here. That you come to a conclusion that you are not this body. This is the purpose. Objectifying means what? I am separating myself. I'm separating my identity from that body and looking at that. Okay. Like we see some things, we see the chair, we see table, we see our book, we see our pen. Similarly, I see this body also. But at present, it's not like that. I have been so much identified to the body, I feel that this body is me. And what is it made up of? It is made up of Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam. It is made up of 5 great elements. Mahabhutaihi. Yes. Mahabhutaihi. Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi. What is Panchikrit? We'll come to that. So there's a combination of 5 elements. This body is a combination of 5 elements. See, whatever we are seeing, there are 2 types. Let me tell you in gist. There are 2 types of 5 elements. One is Panchikrit, other is Apanchikrit. Apanchikrit Panchamahabhut, we'll see in the later paragraph that has been under the Sukshma Sharir portion. Here it is Sthul Sharir. So what is Sthul Sharir? It is a combination of the 5 elements. Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi. It is a composition of 5 elements that has undergone the process of Panchikaran. Here, whatever we are seeing in this world is of Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi because they are in a combination. They have combined themselves. So this is Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam. Mahabhutah. Mahabhutah means what? They are Mahatattvat. There is no end. There is no limit. So many varieties of things have come up from this Panchamahabhut. You cannot say that it has got a start or an end. That is why it is said Mahabhuta, Mahatattvat. There is no iti to it, no limit. Okay. You look at the Srishti, there is no limit. It will go on and on and on. And Bhuta, Bhuta means what? Bhavanti iti Bhuta. That has become something, that has the potential to become something. It has become something. So many kinds of bodies it has come up with. It has come up with so many marine life. You go and see. You see the what is it called? Coral reef, all those things. Then you see the plants, vegetation, everything. There's so many things. All is made up of this Panchamahabhut only. All are Bhutani. Bhutani means they have bodies. Bhavanti Bhuta. They have become so many things. Vikriti. They are modifications of these Panchamahabhuta. Then comes Satkarmajanyam. Here I want your attention. There are 2 types of causes. There are 2 types of causes. One is material cause and the other is efficient cause. Okay, material cause and efficient cause. So what is material cause? Material cause here of the body is Panchikrit Panchamahabhut. So what a thing is made up of, that is called its material cause. Like the golden ornament. So the ornament is made up of gold. So the material cause is that thing. After destruction, that thing will go into that thing only. When the pot breaks, it will disintegrate into mud. So mud it is its material cause. When this body gets destroyed, when this body is dead, what will it go into? It will again go into its material cause, the 5 elements. Okay. Similarly, anything you take, it has got one material cause and it has got an efficient cause. Material cause means what? Upadan Karan. In Sanskrit, I'll give these words also. Upadan Karan, because you need to know these things also. Upadan Karan means what? Yat adaya karyam pravartate. Through which you make something happen, through which you modify something, through which you create something. Yat adaya, by taking something, karyam pravartate, through which you have made something, through which you have processed something. That is called material cause. Okay. And efficient cause means what? Nimitta karan, that is giving the shape. It is giving some shape to it. Now what happens? This material cause, I mean the Pancha Mahabhut, when we come to Pancha Mahabhut as the material cause of this body, it is inert. Jad. What is the definition of Jad? Morning class people? We have some here. What is the definition of Jad?
जो खुद को भी नहीं जानते,
Yes?
and it cannot walk on own.
Yes. Good. They do not have Sata Pravritti and they don't know about. So the Jad thing, the inert thing, does not have the capacity to move on its own, and it does not have the capacity to know itself or the others. Two things. What is Jad? What is an inert object? Inert means it does not have the capacity to move or to activate by on its own. And second thing, it does not know itself, neither it knows others. Okay, you have to remember these 2 points. So any inert, but we feel that this body knows itself. I know myself. So if it is made up of 5 elements, that is Jad, it must be borrowing its capacity from somewhere. It must be borrowing. So let us park this topic here. We'll come to it later. Now the second thing is here is the efficient cause. If that material in my body is inert, it does not have the capacity to generate itself or to give a shape. I have a shape of my body. Some cause must be there that is giving it a shape, because 5 elements are inert on their own. They're moving very slowly. And wherever you're not able to understand, just stop me and ask me. Okay? I hope you're getting these points. Material cause is what? Material cause is what it is made up of. And after destruction, it will go into that thing only. And the inert is what? Inert means that does not have the capacity to move, neither it has capacity to know itself or others. Now coming to the material cause of this body. Material cause of this body is the 5 elements. Okay, fine. 5 elements, and it has got a shape also. Who has given this shape? There has to be an efficient cause. So here the efficient cause is told as Sat Karma Janyam. That is the efficient cause. That karma is giving shape to this body. The efficient cause is giving the shape to its body. Efficient cause is Sat Karma Janyam. Mark each and every word. So actions have given the shape to this body. As there are actions in the past, so is our body at present. If there was some action that had some bad fruit, I will get some bad fruit in the form of some disease in the present. through this body. Why? Because the purpose of this body is to give, third line, the purpose of this body is to give sukh or dukh. Sukh dukh bhogayatanam. So efficient cause is what? Satkarma janyam. That karma, that satkarma is generating. How does it generate? See, everything is pre-decided. Which family I'm going to be born? Can you list out some things that we get directly from our family? Think about it. I mean, I'm talking about the body, mind, intellect, from our parents. Directly we inherit financial position, knowledge. It depends on which family we are born. Knowledge, beauty, then culture, etiquettes, manners, then food habits. There's so many things that we directly get from our parents. The way we use certain words, our speech, our kindness, maybe
Religion.
religion. Yes, yes. So many things. I'm so grateful to Lord that we are all born Hindus. Born Hindus at least. We are not born in a communist family where there's no religion. We are not born as Charvaks. Charvaks say what? There's no Punarjanma. So you have to enjoy. This birth is only there. Just enjoy yourself. Freak out. Keep your good health. Enjoy yourself. Who has seen the next birth? We were not taught all these things at the beginning. So you're right, Sonia, when you said that religion also. Spirituality, cleanliness, all these things, so many things are there that we directly inherit. I have inherited nausea also from my parents. I feel nauseated while traveling. Diseases also sometimes we inherit, like diabetes and all, blood pressure.
Genes, genetic diseases.
Yes, genetic diseases. So which family we are going into, that has already been pre-decided by our karma. Whatever we are doing today, we have already decided our future parents. Everything we decide in this birth only, like we decided in last birth. This body also, our nature, our swabhav, so many things are there. It comes from our parents' genes.
Hello, Mama.
Hari Om.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
As a human being, means we can do lot of karmas. So I can understand that whatever karma we do now, so it will means give us a chance for the next birth. But if we are like animals or like which doesn't have any intellect, then how those karmas were counted?
I'll come to it. Good. Keep thinking. I'll come to it right now in this class only.
Okay.
Yeah. Seemaji, you also want to ask something?
Yes.
Huh.
How can you relate material cause as Panchikrit Mahabhut?
Yeah.
How can it be Jar?
Yes. Yes, I'll tell you. See, material cause is through which a certain thing is made up of. That is clear. Like the material cause of a pot is mud. Material cause of material cause of suppose mobile is iron. I'm just taking an example. Material cause of this paperweight is glass. Material cause of wooden desk is wood. Similarly, here also, when we are talking about this body is made up of what? Body is made up of these 5 elements because there is nothing apart from 5 elements that is present here in this world. So this body is made up of these 5 elements. And second thing is, when that thing gets destroyed, what it goes back to, that is its material cause. So when death happens, when the body is dead, at that time, slowly each and every 5 element starts resigning. Tell me first and foremost, which element resigns? First and foremost, which element goes away?
Earth.
पृथ्वी
नहीं, अर्थ तो लास्ट में जाता है बनाने.
Correct.
वायु वायु
Vayu.
Vayu,
Yes,
correct.
Vayu. Vayu stops. And that is why it becomes heavy. It becomes heavy. So similarly, one by one, the elements are going, they are resigning. So this body is going back to its cause. The water starts coming out. This body becomes cold. The fire element has gone out. When we cremate this body, at that time it goes back into the Prithvi. Earth element goes last. So that is what this body is going back into, that it is its material cause.
Yes,
Simajin?
but why do we say jar? Jar
Yes,
क्यों बोलो उसको?
jar kyun bolte hain? Why do we say jar? This is inert because these elements do not have the capacity to think on their own. They do not have the capacity to move on their own. They are changing. They are not stable. All these are characteristics of an inert thing. Inert does not have the capacity to know itself. Because that is why I'm telling you, the sentiency is there in the body. I feel that this body is sentient, but because these 5 elements are jad or inert on their own, they have taken this characteristic of sentiency from somewhere else. It is not their characteristic. Just park this topic. I have parked this topic. We'll come to this topic later on. This sentiency that we see in our body, in these 5 elements, that it is moving and it is perceiving everything, it is not the characteristic of the 5 elements. The 5 elements are jad because they cannot move on their own. Neither they have the capacity to know themselves or others. Earth element cannot know the other 4 elements. Earth element cannot know fire. Fire cannot know air or earth or water. They do not have that capacity. But in this body, when we are looking at them, these 5 elements, we feel that we know everything. But it is not like that. It is borrowing that sentiency from somewhere else. That is from Atma only. It is borrowing. But how that will come later on, we'll see it later on. That is why this body is jad. It does not have its sentiency of its own. If it had sentiency of its own, if that was of the nature of sentiency, tell me, morning class people, what would have happened? अगर इस शरीर का नेचर स्वरूप जो है वो चेतन होता, it is not jad. If this body is, like Simaji is asking us just now, if the nature of this body was not jad, not inert, but sentiency, what would have had happened?
We won't be able to sleep.
Yes. Next thing, next point.
We wouldn't have died.
We wouldn't have died. Very good. More. सीमा जी आपके पास आंसर है, डॉक्टर हैं आप. When you क्या बोलते हैं उसको, anesthesia, when you give anesthesia, what are you doing? You are making the sensations numb. If the nature of those things was सेंशियंसी, आप एनेस्थेशिया से कोई भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता आपके एनेस्थेशिया देने पर. Because how do you define nature? How do you define Swarup? It is that nature won't leave anytime. The sweetness of the sugar, the saltiness of the salt, it does not leave. Because the nature of this body is inert, that is why we leave the sentiency at many times and we can take the sentiency at many times. It is going away and coming. Whenever we have, many times we sit like this cross-legged and our feet gets numb. There's numbness sometimes. This is coming and going, off and on. That sentience is off and on, off and on. Why is it so? Because the nature of that 5 elements is jad, actually. The sentiency that we see is temporary. It has borrowed it from something. अगर उसका nature वो होता, it wouldn't have left it, and we wouldn't have slept. We sleep like logs. We forget everything at that time. उस समय कोई कीड़ा भी हमारे ऊपर से चला जाए, कुछ सांप भी उठ के चला जाए, सोएंगे हमारा ब्लैंकेट गिर जाए. Where is that sentiency gone? If it was the nature of those 5 elements. और जैसे किसी ने हाँ
तो क्या इंद्रिया जो है वो पांचों वो सहायक है सेंसेशंस या व्हाटएवर.
हाँ,
हमारे अगर जड़ है बॉडी तो उनको बनाने के लिए, चेतन बनाने के लिए, आई मीन समथिंग इज वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग.
हाँ,
लाइक
अभी आएगा,
जड़
धीरे
है.
धीरे आएगा, क्योंकि ये जो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है ना, the next topic is our सूक्ष्म शरीर, the subtle body. The subtle body consists of all these indriyas, 5 karmendriya, 5 jnanendriya, that is making this jad body sentient. That is making the jad body sentient. We need the subtle body to make this stool body sentient. Okay, so when it is, that is why this body is a combination. One cannot work without the other. भूत जो होता है ना, भूत प्रेत, उसके पास में सूक्ष्म शरीर है, but he does not have this सूक्ष्म स्थूल शरीर to express, and that is why this is saying sukha dukkhadi bhogayatanam. If you want to experience sorrow or joy, you need this body. You cannot experience the sorrows or joys without this body. It is the purpose of this body is to give us joy or sorrow. बनानी what सीमा जी ठीक है? हाँ, हम लोग धीरे धीरे और आगे बढ़ेंगे. When we go ahead further slowly, your doubts will be clear. But if it is not clear, you keep on asking me again. Banani, what was your question?
Actually, Amma, the karmas we do know.
हाँ, आ गया, याद आ गया. Okay. So here, now the question is Sat Karma Janyam. Okay, so here we need to find out Sat Karma. Sat Karma means actions. Now, here one more word has been given to us by other Vidwan also, Vidwan Purush also. They say it is Vidyaman Karma and not only Sat Karma. Vidyaman Karma means what? Existing good actions. Because the trees, the plants, the animals, the birds, they also have a stool sharir. They also have a stool sharir. But what here we are talking about is human body. And human body has to be an output of good actions. Vidyaman karma, sat karma. So when we are getting this body through some actions, again we try to create this body. The other pashu yoni, pakshi yoni, the other jad yoni, the animal, the plant yoni, these are also yonis. These are also certain birds. They have also bodies. They cannot create further actions. That is only meant to have some bhog. Bhog means what? You get sorrows, you get joy, you undergo that. You cannot create new actions. No new actions will be created. You are just finishing off your backlog. The fruit of action that has already been created in the past, we are clearing it off in this body as an animal, as a bird, as a tree, as a stone. Even stone is a yoni. So all these other various yonis, I'm calling yonis, all other birds, you can say, all other bodies, they are a result of action that was created in a human body sometime. But now they are just undergoing those fruit of actions till it gets exhausted. Once it gets exhausted, again they will go into a human body and then start doing their actions. It's very technical, it's very ticklish. You cannot make out, you cannot try to estimate or try to analyze the fruit of action. It is so magical, you can say. It is so ticklish, you can say. You cannot give a cause and effect that this action has given me this fruit. I am getting this fruit, this person as a fruit, this person who's a very irritating person who's around me. Which action I did that made this person come near? You cannot say, because we have done so many actions in the past. You cannot say which action has got which fruit. So many actions, so many birds, human birds. So a pashu, animal yoni is only for bhog. He cannot create new action. That is for only exhaustion of his previous fruits of action. Once it gets exhausted, it is full, it is finished, he has cleared his backlog, he can move ahead again in a human body. Example is Jad Bharat. He cleared off his backlog as a deer, then he came again to the Param Sharir of Brahmin. Again, he was born into a Brahmin family. But he had to undergo this fruit of action as a deer. Vanani, is it clear? So any
Yes,
body
Amma,
you
but
see-
how to yes, Amma, you're telling something. Actually, how to finish this means karma and effect, the cause and effect cycle.
It won't finish. It is never ending. Only Bhagavad Kripa can finish, or Gyan. Only when you have become a Gyani, only when you have become a Gyani, the fruits of action will stop acting on you, because it will stop acting on you because you have destroyed, annihilated the karta in yourself. Once you annihilate either by bhakti, by surrendering your karta, your doer, because the doer is only doing action. Time is very less. Otherwise, I would have taken away. Who does this actions? The karta, the doer. Once the doer is annihilated, or the doer is sublimated, or the doer is surrendered to the Lord through the path of action, or through the path of devotion, or through the path of knowledge, then this fruit of actions get exhausted and he's liberated. But it is not in our hands totally. Okay, Ananya?
Okay, Amma. Not in our hand होने से थोड़ा दुख हो जाता है.
नहीं, अच्छा है क्योंकि मेरे हाथ में नहीं है, भगवान के हाथ में है. He knows better what I deserve. Maybe मेरे हाथ में होता तो it would have taken 3-4 births. Maybe because it is in hands, maybe I'll get moksha next birth only. Because there are so many actions that have been done, it is very difficult to exhaust all of them. But with his karuna, with his daya, it is in his capacity whether to dissolve all those actions, fruit of actions.
पर हमें पता कैसे चलेगा कि हमारे और कितने जन्म होंगे या
क्या
हमारे
जरूरत है पता करने की? पता सब चीजें इसीलिए तो भगवान ने भुला दिया है ना सोनिया. If we remember everything, if we remember our past life, if we come to know about our future, it will be so grueling. It will be so. I'll feel as if I'll be under pressure. I won't be free as I'm now. भगवान पोंछ देते हैं दया करके सब कुछ. He has erased our memories.
पर फिर हम फिर से वो गलत चीजें करने लगते हैं ना. अगर हमें पता हो
गलत
कि हम
चीजें
कर रही हैं,
नहीं करते हम गलत चीजें. जब हमको फ्रूट ऑफ एक्शन मिलता है ना, ये सूक्ष्म शरीर में हम देखेंगे. शुरू में ही कोई जो होते हैं बहुत धर्म भीरू होते हैं. We'll see कि कोई जो है, I have seen many people, नहीं हमने गलत काम नहीं करे. I won't do some wrong thing or that is not on the path of dharma. No. I won't speak false. क्यों ऐसा होता है? क्योंकि they have undergone some fruit. Because our mind is traveling with all the bodies that I had taken, so that mind remembers that, and this is called our nature. Our swabhav keeps changing with each birth. We collect something, we leave something. We collect something with our experiences, we keep on changing ourselves, our notions. And that is why yesterday we heard, Swamiji was telling us about so many things. These satsang pieces, these are notion correctors. It corrects our notions and then we will act as per that notions. So it is not like we forget everything. We are actually taking those experiences, we are changing ourselves, changing our nature, and slowly we'll keep on changing. गलती नहीं करते हम. When we do some mistake, we get the fruit of that mistake and then we change. This is the process, and that is why here the theory of narak fits. The hell. Why a jeev is put into that narak? Why is he put into that hell? Because the system wants that the jeev should get purified through that experience of hell. नहीं हम करेंगे तो इसमें पाप होगा. That jeev must have undergone some pain. Narak is what? A plane of consciousness where a sense of pain is instilled in him, that you had done this action and the pain you had generated somewhere, that pain will come back to you. It won't go anywhere else. That pain comes to that karta himself. So wherever we are generating something, that will come back to us. This notion is very clear. The clarified vision is there, and that this makes him change. This changes his swabhav. And slowly, through his actions, he is purifying himself. Okay.
अगर हम जो स्थिति है, मनस्थिति या कोई भी परिस्थिति है, हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये अभी के कर्म से है या पहले के कर्म से है?
नहीं पता चलेगा. You won't be able to know. That's what I told you. It's so difficult to come to know what is the cause and what is the effect. What was the cause? With which action I did? You won't come to know. You won't be able to know. Just you have to be cautious. I'm not going to do wrong. Otherwise, some other action, some other fruit of action will get generated. You're cautious. You're alert. Your mind is alert. Your mind has become righteous. And no, I won't go on the path of adharma. But trying to find out exact cause, ये क्यों आई परिस्थिति ऐसे? What is the cause? Which action I did? It's not possible. Unless that person you are going to is yoga pratyaksh, like Shukdev Ji Maharaj or somebody like Vyas Dev Ji, they can see and tell you, foresee and tell everything. But in common, it is not. It's not possible. Okay.
What is a jnani? Who is a jnani?
Oh my God. Jnani is a person who sees himself everywhere, who sees the Atma everywhere, in everybody, throughout. There's no difference between himself and others. Even in the Panchamahabhut, he sees himself only. That is a Jnani. So, yeah. ठीक है? चले, भूख लग रही है। सोनिया कहाँ चली गई? खत्म करें पूर्ण मतलब? सोनिया
अगर कोई ज्ञानी और भक्ति में चला गया है तो उसके बाद क्या होगा?
उसके बाद वो ब्रेकफास्ट करेगा और फिर ब्रेकफास्ट करने के बाद में वो
उसको तो भूख ही नहीं लगेगी ना।
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है,
उसको नहीं,
ऐसा
उसको
नहीं है। शरीर का धर्म तो होगा उसका, वो अच्छे से खाएगा। ज्ञानी मोटे होते हैं। अच्छे से खाते पीते रहते हैं। शरीर का धर्म तो शरीर का धर्म रहेगा ना। whatever is the requirement of the body, identification is something else and the requirement is something else. Maybe whenever there is a pain is not identified to that body, the identification with the body is not there, वो अपनी दुनिया में रहता है। बट ऐसा नहीं कि उसको भूख नहीं लगेगी, उसको प्यास नहीं लगेगी, उसको पेन नहीं होगा, उसके इमोशंस नहीं है, ये सब नहीं है। धीरे धीरे आएगा समझ में। ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन सोचते रहो और पूछते रहो। ठीक है, अभी मैं खत्म करूँ।
ज्ञानी हो गया तो वो उसका लास्ट जन्म होता है?
हाँ, he'll get liberated. He'll get liberated.
पर वो क्या गारंटी होती है?
गारंटी क्यों चाहिए? गारंटी की
पर
उसको कोई जरूरत है? देखो,
लिबरेट
एक ऐसी परिस्थिति होती है जब उसके मन में वो सब कुछ हर जगह पे अपने आप को ही देख रहा है, तब उसका जन्म और मृत्यु से उसको अफेक्ट कैसे होगा? वो उसको अगर जन्म भी दे दिया जाए क्योंकि वो ज्ञानी है, दैट वोंट अफेक्ट हिम। हमारे गुरुदेव हैं, आप विवेकानंद स्वामी जी को देख लो, आप ज्ञानेश्वर जी को देख लो, आप सुखदेव जी को देख लो, दे आर ऑल लिबरेटेड सोल्स। वो हमारी तरह नहीं सोचेंगे। वो लोग सोचेंगे कि अगर जरूरत पड़े तो हम जन्म ले लेंगे, because they have a target in front of them, they have some ambition, they have some bigger divine task। उस काम के लिए मुझे अगर करना है, ठीक है। वो काम भी वो लोग इसी तरह करते हैं कि all is false, मेरी आत्मा ही सत्य है। ना उनको जन्म से फर्क पड़ता है, ना उनको मृत्यु से फर्क पड़ता है, ना उनको सुख से पड़ता है, ना अपमान, ना बहुत माला पहना रहे हैं, किसी से फर्क नहीं पड़ता। ऐसे रहते हैं वो लोग। तो इसीलिए उनका जन्म हो मृत्यु हो, वो लोग एक अलग प्लेन ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस में रहते हैं, बहुत आनंददायी। वो लोग नीचे नहीं उतरते उस प्लेन ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस। हमारा स्खलित हो जाता है, हमारा छूट जाता है। we come down very fast, we leave that knowledge very fast, but this jnani is always established in that knowledge, whether in birth, whether in death, does not affect him at all, whether in rebirth, कहीं पे भी उसको भेज दो, हर जगह पे वो अपनी आत्मा से एक है। ठीक है, पूर्ण मदद करें। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।